Hello everyone, Chefy back at you again, and today we are going to be cleaning some more Game Boy games. All of these are going to be Pokemon games. Let's go ahead without any further ado and start cleaning. Alright, so I've made a video like this before. Sorry about the lighting over here, but it makes it better for you guys to see. Yeah, makes it better for you guys to see what's going on down at the table. Let me move my camera a little bit. So these games, or like I said, I've made a video like this before where I cleaned some Game Boy games and just made them play a little bit better. But before we do, let's go ahead and look at these games and tell you where they came from and see what's on these before we actually start, deconstructing them and trying to get them to work a little bit better. So we have red, gold, 2 copies of blue. One of them works a little bit better than the other. And I think the gold has a little bit of an issue. I opened these up yesterday to, or not opened them, but looked at them on the game yesterday to see what was going on. And then we have Pokemon Puzzle. So all of these games do play. The only thing is it takes a lot of effort for some of them. Like this one, the Pokemon Puzzle, last night it took me a few times. Oh, it's going to work instantly. Actually, you know what? Right after this screen, it freezes. So we're going to see if cleaning it will fix it. And hopefully it will. So Pokemon Puzzle doesn't work. We're going to go through these. These all came from my very good friend, Dungeon Master Blobe, or better known, or how I know him as Alan. I don't want to give out his last name. I don't know if he feels comfortable. So we'll just call him Alan. And then his brother Tommy. You'll see Tommy's name, I think, on this one or the other copy of blue. As you can see, this one works perfectly fine. It's probably not that bad. We got 4 badges. Oh, I'm not going to go into the PC and see what we have. Let me turn the music off. We're not going to go into the PC to see what we have, but we are going to, let me see if the glare will come off. There we go. We will look at the actual Pokemon and see what's going on here. Let me fix the... There we go. So we have Blova Jr., which is his Charmeleon. We have Burry. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's Pikachu. We have Pidgeotto. Obviously, that's Pidgeotto. We have Kadabra. We all know what that is. Saki. I have no idea what this is. That is a Wigglytuff. Then we have Kingy. And that is King himself. But that is Hypno. So I'm probably not going to erase these because I'm playing red right now on my 3DS. I'm going to set this over here. I'll put these off over here so you can kind of see them. I have blue on my wife's 3DS. And then surprisingly, all these are playing. It's going to make a liar out of me and Blobe. But anyway, so and I've also got yellow on my 3DS, and I'm probably gonna put it on my daughter's 3DS as well. So I have all these games, maybe gold, but I also have been playing crystal, so I don't know. I think on this one, hold on, let's see. Nope, one of these I started just to see if the battery was working and got past the save stuff. I think it was gold, but this one is Tommy's, as you can see down here. And he didn't get too far. This is Rattata. This is X. That's his Squirtle. That's my second favorite starter. CT for Pidgey. And then ZX, which is, what is that, Metapod. You're going to hear a baby doll in the background. My daughter's playing back there. Let me see if I can get this leveled. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah. So, that's that. I think whenever I knocked it down, it froze. I think red and blue, the first copy of blue that I showed you, were the only ones that really worked the first time last night, but obviously they're working pretty well now. Gold and the second copy of blue gave me a lot of trouble. So I think the battery is dead in this because I did start this last night and I did save it. So, yeah, I don't know how to do that. I'm hoping to get a soldering iron relatively soon So maybe if I can figure out how to put batteries in here and order new batteries, I need to put a new one in my other copy of blue that I have, and then also in this game. Shouldn't be too hard. I think they're just soldered to the board. Desolder them, solder them back on, the battery back on. Unfortunately, if you do the battery thing, you will lose all of your save data, so that sucks. And then this is his red version. I think he was just playing this, but he named it after Slothy, which is one of our other friends. That's Grant. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about him. So we have Haunter, Winston, which I think is Ivysaur. Venusaur, my bad. Bruce Lee, I think we all know what that's going to be. It's Hitmonlee. We have Sleepy. That is Snorlax. There's Muhammad. Oh, didn't mean to use cut. And that is Beedrill. And then we have Gigi. And that is a Clefable. I think these names are hilarious because I personally don't name my Pokemon. But let's go ahead and crack into this. So the things that you're going to need. First, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, just to test all the games. Make sure they work. Let me turn the light back on. Recommend SP just because it does have the backlight, has rechargeable batteries, all that good stuff. Obviously, you're going to need games that need cleaning. You're going to need some alcohol. I have 70%. You can use higher or lower. Probably wouldn't go any lower than 70% because then it would be, more and more water. I don't know exactly what it's made out of. You're going to need some steel wool. And also, I know that wasn't a very good picture of it. And then some Q-tips. So, oops, there's one. So you're going to need some Q-tips. Or these are actually cotton swabs. They're not Q-tips. Like I said, you're not going to be able to see my face very well, but thought I would have it. Also, for Nintendo games, you're going to have this little, what is this? 3.8 security bit. And obviously a screwdriver. Mine doesn't really work that well. Like, it doesn't fit and it's not magnetic, so that sucks. But anyways, you can get these off of Amazon. I think that's where I picked this one up at. You can actually get it as a screwdriver. I'm sure you can get a whole set. Ooh, set of these. Excuse me. So, and then I also have some paper towels off to the side. It'd probably be best if you had a container. I'm going to use a little plastic thing that I had, literally a piece of trash from Christmas. And I'm going to put my my rubbing alcohol in there, just so I have a container. Alright, so what most people will tell you to do first is to just take a cotton swab, put a little bit of alcohol in here, and then swab back and forth. Unless somebody took immaculate care of their games and put them in cases and all that good stuff where dust can't get in them, hardly ever played them, then I surely doubt that just a rubbing alcohol and a cotton swab will work in these particular cases. These are 20-year-old games here. So these are going to need a little bit more elbow grease than that. So I'm not even going to fool around with just using this. I'm going to go ahead and break out the big guns and use a little bit of steel wool. This stuff is super fine. Don't use anything too abrasive. Just super fine. You'll see that I don't even have to use any force at all. Just a little scrubbing. I'm going to tear just a little piece of this off because I'm not going to need much. There we go. And usually you can find this at the painter section at Home Depot or at Walmart or Lowe's, wherever you go. So let's go ahead and get started in this. Let me get my camera all fixed up real quick. There we go. Don't mind my desk. I need a new one. So let me focus this so you guys can see it a little bit better. I don't want to do autofocus because whenever I have to focus on something, then it always messes me up. I'm going to actually lay a paper towel down here. That way we can have a better surface to lay it on, even though it makes everything super bright. So we're going to go ahead and, if you have a carpet floor, you'll probably want to treat this kind of like doing a PC build, where you touch something metal before you get started. I just don't want you to short out your board or anything like that. I don't know if that has, I mean, if that really happens in this case. But and with Pokemon games, you have to like push up or down. You have to push down on this. Yep, this is pretty dirty. Let me go. I guess I will put it on autofocus for right now. See how it works. So first of all, we're gonna set the screw somewhere safe. Actually, I'm gonna set it in my little. No, I was gonna set it in my container, but that would not work. I'm gonna go ahead and pour some rubbing alcohol in my container, and I'm going to just start scrubbing all around it. And in this case, I am going to use just a cotton swab. See if I can get some stuff off of the case itself. And this is working pretty well right now. It does look like I am going to have to use steel wool, but like I said, I'm just trying to get a little bit of this off. And the reason you want to use rubbing alcohol is because it dries almost instantly, and it is safe on the contacts of the electronics. You don't want to use it on the board itself, because that might mess it up. But on all these plastic bits and stuff like that, it'll get it nice and clean real quick. I'll get a nice close-up of all this once I get done. You don't want to use this stuff on the label, and if you do, you don't want to use too much of it on the label, because it'll start peeling the label up. It's okay if you use like just a lightly dried or lightly dampened Q-tip on the label itself. You just don't want to use too much of it. Okay, so that's the inside of it. I guess I should have showed you before I started cleaning, but I'll do that on the next one if I remember. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much here, just a little wipe and trying to clean it up a little bit. Not too much I can do with the label here. It's already kind of just wore out, but like I said, it's a 20-year-old game. I think this is Alan's original copy. I'm not completely sure, but yeah. After being put in the Game Boy and everything and all that good stuff, I don't expect it to be perfect. Some of my labels are perfect, but they weren't my original copies either. Alright, so this is what it looks like now. Nice and clean. On the inside it's a little bit grubby, but not too bad in there. I could do a little bit more work on there. You can't really see it, but there is some small amount of dirt. I'm gonna lay the front of the case over here. I'm gonna go ahead and take the board out, set it on top of the other case. You always want to handle this by the edges. You don't want to actually touch it. You can actually see some of the dirt right here, all on the back panel right here. Some dang glitter on there. I hate some glitter. Let me see if I can get it a little bit tighter. No, that's about as good as I got. So same thing on this side, just cleaning it out real good. This probably isn't going to be the most interesting video, but I'm not really doing it for any particular reason, except for I wanted to see if this will make these games play any better. Also, if you have never cleaned a game before, just hopefully this will teach you how to do it. Not hard at all. I have a whole collection, well, not a big collection, but a small collection of NES games that a lot of them didn't work, and SNES. A lot of them didn't even work whenever I first got them. But then after you clean the contacts, I mean, as soon as you put them in, they work perfectly fine. I had a Super Mario game, Super Mario World, where it took me like 10 tries. This is before I knew about cleaning the contacts. But 10 tries to try to even remotely get it to play. And then finally I cleaned the contacts, and every single time I put it in, it works. And after all this is done, this is where you can use the Q-tips. After you clean it really well, you can use the Q-tips to just touch it up now and then, because if you don't have a case, then, or like the little plastic sleeves that you could put on the bottom of NES games and SNES games, then it will still accumulate dust over time. And you just have to wipe it out sometimes. So there's the first game down. Whoops, accidentally picked, well, first game case, should I say. I'm gonna go ahead and take this paper towel away because it does still have the alcohol on there, and I don't want to get that on the board itself. Okay, so here we go. There is some residue around the solder right there. Looks like a little bit of corrosion right there. It's kind of hard to make out. I don't know if you can see that. Nothing too bad. Doesn't look like there's any swelling on the battery or anything like that. But as you can see, those contacts are kind of silvery and dirty. They should be kind of gold. And then on the back, you can see there's a little bit of corrosion there. Hold on, let me see if I can bring it in a little bit tighter. There we go. See, there's a little bit of grime on the back of that. We're gonna see if we can fix that. So here we go. Sorry, I wish I had something to hold it up here, but I don't. Like I said, just take the still wool, dip it in a little bit more alcohol, kind of squeeze it off. I'm squeezing it off on the side, and then just go back and forth for a while. Like I said, this one doesn't really need it that much, but I mean, any little bit helps. And it still will be silvery. I mean, that's just it being worn out. But hopefully one of the other ones will have a little bit more dirt on it, so you can actually see what I'm talking about as far as it being dirty. I've had a couple of games where they were real bad. Okay, you can kind of see the dirt on there. That little black speck right there, that's a little bit of dirt, and I mean, you're not gonna get a lot off of these games. It's not like people are sticking their fingers in here or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna squeeze that Q-tip off, and I am gonna go around the solder joint. Just get a little bit of that dirt off there. Get a dry paper towel. Go ahead and wipe it off. Go on the battery itself, because there is some stuff on there. Just shining it up, really. I mean, it's not like I'm cleaning the battery and it's going to work any better. But now I'm going to go on to the back. Hold on, there's a little bit of dirt right here. Take the dry side of the Q-tip, wipe that off immediately. Okay, so I'm not going to use the steel wool on this side. This side's a little bit more sensitive, but I am going to use the alcohol again. Just lightly go over it. Just because there is dirt. It's not like this part's really going to be reading it. The only part that reads on the Game Boy or whatever you're playing it on is these little metal pins. So if those are clean, it should work better. But just in case, let me focus again. I like to clean all of it. So we're going to pop this right back on there, make sure the hole lines up. We're going to lay this back in there, slide it back up, and we're going to put the screw back in. We're not going to play it yet. We're going to let it have time to completely 100% dry. Luckily, we have a few games to do here. So that would give it time to dry. I mean, this should be dry enough. I mean, my fingers are dry. The Q-tip was already dry whenever I was about to clean it again. There's actually another little mark right there, but I think that's a scuff. Let's see if I can get that off. See, my Q-tip's already dry. So, or no, that's a different Q-tip, sorry. And with this, it just takes some patience if you want it to be like super clean. If it's not too bad, and I want to get all in these grooves and stuff and all that good stuff. But I'm not like a fanatic. I just want it to play every time if I can. This one, again, the battery I think is going to be dead in it, but I'm going to have to get some Goo Gone to get these stickers off. There's not much I can do about it with just alcohol. You can try to scrape some of it off with your fingernail, but if you get some Goo Gone, spray it, especially after you take this off. So if you want to get some Goo Gone before you start doing this, if you have stickers on a lot of your games, whenever you have the main board out, spray some of that off, on it, and then lay it off to the side, and then the sticker should come off relatively easily. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. And these screws do not need to go back in tight. It's just pretty much finger fit. You see that I am putting this in here taking this off with my fingers, and I know nobody else has ever been in here. So I'm going to set this screw over here. And again, I'm going to pop this off. I might just go ahead and take this off. I can take this out in 3 different ways. This looks like maybe somebody has been in here. I can't tell if that's a new battery or not. It looks like it says 01 2000. I don't know if that's the year or not, but there's some numbers on there, and then there's some tape right there. I don't know if that's from Nintendo or not. And I don't have another game to compare it to, so I'm going to lay this right here on top of that. Nice and easy. Go ahead. This one on the inside doesn't look bad at all. The outside's kind of grubby, but like I said, that just comes with age. Everybody will become a dirty old person whenever they get older, so you can see there's some stuff on the front. So I'm going to take care of that. Okay, with that black spot right there, I'm going to use a steel wool. You don't want to use steel wool too hard on here because you might take off the paint or something. I don't know what this black stuff is. I don't know if I'll be able to get it off or not. It's really sticking on there. Yeah, I have no idea what that is, so I'm just going to leave it alone. If I really wanted to, I could probably get something and scrape it off, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Just taking this stuff off with just some more alcohol and cotton swab. Drying that off immediately because you don't want this alcohol sitting on there. See, and if you really wanted to, if you really dedicate it to playing a game, technically, if the battery does die, you could still play it. You could play it completely through, but you wouldn't be able to turn your game off at all. And you know, because the battery, if you don't know, if you have ever wondered what the battery is for in Pokemon games or whatever, or in like Zelda games or anything that has save states, pretty much. Pretty much what the battery is for is just saving those save states. Because it's, how can I explain this? Whenever you turn the game off, the battery keeps the saves on there. Oh, somebody's calling me. Sorry. It's my wife. She's asking about a charger. Okay. Anyways, pretty much, long story short, is the battery, if it goes dead, all your save data will die with it, pretty much. You have a battery inside of your computer as well, that the same kind of thing will happen, except for it's not for your like save data. It's not for like if you have games on there. That sticker came off really well with the alcohol, actually. Surprised me. But anyways, the computer the battery in the computer, I think, I'm not a computer expert or anything like that, but I think what that battery does is it saves all the basic information on your computer. So like the time and the date and stuff like that, and other stuff too. I mean, it's a lot more than just time and date, but that's just basic stuff that I could think of right off the top of my head. And this does kind of the same thing, except for if the battery dies, you know, there's literally nothing that you can do about it. It just dies. I mean, you can try to catch it beforehand, and there are methods. I don't know what they are. I've never had the battery die on me while it was my game, but there are ways that you can back up your stuff, but I've heard it's a pain in the butt, so I've never done it. So again, I'm going to just try to find a dry spot on this. I'm going to take the and this one you can definitely see. Let me show you. You can see little black marks all over it. And it's not, like I said, this is not from people throwing their games in the dirt or anything like that. This is strictly just from putting it in the console and taking it out. That's all this dirt's from. So if you ever feel like, oh, I don't want to clean my stuff because, or like if you buy a game and you don't want to clean it because it has somebody else's dirt in it, The outer ridges of the game itself, and then the actual not console, the actual cartridge itself will be dirtier than this stuff. See, looks brand new now, nice and golden. Still has some silver on there, but like I said, that's just wear and tear on it. So yeah, this is pretty much ready to go back in. I mean, everything else looks good. And let me show you how the battery is put in here. Okay, so all I have is a Q-tip to point with, so I'm going to point with that. Hold on one second, let me get another one. I don't want to put a dirty Q-tip on my battery or anything. So, as you can see, that's a solder joint and that's a solder joint. And this part right here is stuck to the battery. There's some games and stuff that you can just take the battery out and put another one in. But this one, there's only two ways that you can put it in. One, you can do it right, unsolder this and unsolder that just by heating it up. I'm not sure how to do it, so don't take my word on it, but I'm assuming you just heat the solder up, it melts, you wipe it off, and then you put more solder on there and put another battery on there. Anyways, or my crystal version looks like ghetto rigged, and literally it's just taped in there. And if you tape it hard enough, and it'll bulge out your little plastic piece. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. The cover, they'll bulge that out. Mine has a crack in it because of the people putting it in there so rough and stuff. But it works. I mean, it saves and everything like that. But that's not exactly the best way to do it. The best way to do it is by soldering it back in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this back in. And I'll test all these games out in just a second once I get done with it. There's a little piece of plastic. You may have seen it fall out right here. That little circle right there, it's just a stabilizer. I don't know how to take these out without breaking them. Every single one of them so far have broke. So, oh well. I mean, they play just fine. It's not like they're wobbling around. That big circle right there keeps them in place, but it's best to have both pieces of plastic in there and everything. Okay. I'll put this screw back in, and then we'll move on to Pokemon Blue. The two games that I'm really worried about is the Pokemon Blue, the one that has the older looking label, the one that I'm about to do actually. Okay, see, as soon as it started tightening up, I was done. I didn't touch it anymore. And you know, I already know what the problem is with the gold. But this one, this blue, and then this game right here. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. And I'll show you what is wrong with this one. What was giving it a hard time whenever I first started trying to fiddle with it. Because whenever I first got it, it wouldn't start at all. Like, I put it in there a bunch, and it wouldn't start. Ooh, this one really in there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one off. Come on. I can't remember if I go up or down. Let me take the screw out of this one. There's a sticker on that one I don't want to fiddle with right now. I just can't remember if I have to push it up or down. So, I mean, the bad thing is about this one, the other Pokemon, this game, can't remember what it's called. Okay, push it down. Is the contacts look relatively clean. I'm going to put the screw back in here. But they look relatively clean, so the sad part is I might not be able to fix it. There we go. Okay, the contacts don't look terrible, but I'll show you what's wrong with the other side of the case in just a second. Hey, I saved the little plastic piece in that one. So here's the contacts on that one. It's hard to show you how dirty they are, really, because there's no way to really focus where you can see it, but you can see a little black marks on there and stuff. But you see how that battery is like more metallic color. It doesn't have that weird plastic ring. I don't know if Gen 2 is the only one with the plastic ring, the yellow ring around it, or if that's just a new battery in there. as you can see, it's pretty dirty in here. Just gonna do a quick scrub. And then it's on the other part of the case that is the concern. What I might have to do is get a heat gun and fix this problem. But I kind of bent it back into place last night. Before I keep on talking, I'll show you. There we go. Much better. Like I said, there's certain things that you cannot avoid. There's like scratches on the back of the case. There's no way that you can avoid that, because you know that's just normal wear and tear. Okay, should slide back into place easier because there was some weird sticky stuff. Let me see if I can get that better. Okay, so there's the back part. Still a little scratchy. So here's the issue here. See that little white mark right there? That mark is either like a burn mark, or I think somebody may have just like pressed down on this right here. Yeah, that's a bend. You can see it kind of. But you see that little crease right there? It's not melted. It looks like somebody like stepped on it or something like that. And it bent it down and it pressed onto the contacts, so everything was way too tight and it wouldn't let it play. So I'm gonna bend it out some. That helped it last night, and that's what made it, I think, play better today. So we'll see if that helps. But yeah, pretty much. And there's another bend right here too, so I'm gonna press on that. Maybe that's why it was so hard to get out of the, like, to break apart a few seconds ago. I don't know, it is pretty grubby up here. Sorry if this isn't the most interesting video, but it's me cleaning some cartridges, so of course it's not going to be too interesting, but hey, these are old games. Maybe you don't know how to do it, and maybe this is teaching you something. I hope so. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a game repairman. I'm not a computer scientist or anything like this. I've watched YouTube videos where people clean cartridges, and that's how I figured out how to do it. And I've just found my own little method of doing it, and there's no officially right way how to clean a cartridge, except for there's actually a cartridge cleaner from NES, or on the NES, and I think the SNES. I don't know if there's one for the Game Boy, but that's literally from Nintendo, and that's, you know, the official way to clean it. But that's pretty much the equivalent of just putting a and there's one for the actual systems too, but that's the equivalent of just putting the Q-tips in here and wiping them in and out. And they have some kind of cleaning stuff. And let me fix my stuff. Sorry, I'm going in and out of focus. I hate putting it on autofocus because it doesn't get things right. Like, my hands will get in the way, and then autofocus will mess up. So I'll show you the paper towel on this one after I'm done scrubbing it. Not really the best surface doing this on a paper towel. I should have just done it on the table, but last time I done this, it left marks all over my table, so I don't want to do that again. So here's a relatively clean paper towel, and you can't see. Hold on. Can't really see it, but it's a little dirty. None of these are terrible. None of them, yeah, you can't see it. None of them are like, oh my goodness, this is disgusting. I had a Donkey Kong game and a Mario game that were like that, but none of these so far have been bad. There we go. Let's see if this goes in easier. I'm excited to try this one out. Oh yeah, that's a million times easier. I don't know if it was because there was dirt in there, or if it was just, no, it doesn't want to stay. Okay, there we go. I hope I didn't make it too loose. We'll see. Might have to bend it back. You can hear my daughter in there. Speaking of my daughter, I don't know if it's out yet, but we will be having a new video coming out of us eating Vienna sausages. Me and her never have eaten Vienna sausages before, and we tried them, and they were gross to me, but she liked them. Wow, this one has a tiny battery. This one is like immaculate, so I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay. Let's clean it and see if it helps. Let me get a new paper towel because this one's getting all gross. Trash can. There we go. 1 second. Set up. Hurts your back after a while. I have one more game after this, and then we can start trying them out. The case, I mean, I don't even have to really clean that. I might do a little something to it. Where did I put my steel wool? Did I accidentally throw that away too? Oh well. I have plenty of it. I just bought some specifically for this. If you guys like this video, I can hopefully buy more games. I'm trying to build up my collection of games, especially Pokemon games. But I'm trying to build up my collection, and every single time I get new games, I clean them, so I can sit here and clean and talk to you guys if that's what you guys want. Just let me know. I'm trying, just to let you guys know. Yeah, this thing, I mean, this game has hardly ever been used. You remember how on the other ones, there was like a little silver tinge to them. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring it up. There we go. You can barely see, like, especially on that first contact right here, you can barely see some scratches. But other than that, I mean, this game is immaculate. Looks brand new. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, it wouldn't be the battery, because if it was the battery, then you know, it wouldn't, I mean, it would still play, it just wouldn't have save data like I was talking about earlier. The case, yeah, I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and wipe it down a little bit. But anyways, like I was saying, with this collection that he gave me, all I need now for the Game Boy Color is silver. And then my whole Game Boy and Game Boy Color collection of Pokemon will be complete. And then I'm going to start working on my GBA, which is, I think, just gold, silver, not gold, silver, ruby, sapphire, emerald, fire red, leaf green. So, and I'm talking about main series. After I get all the main series stuff, I might start getting stuff like this. The front's beautiful. I mean, this game is absolutely beautiful. A little bit of black stuff on there, but dang, that makes it a lot harder on me because I don't know what's wrong with it now. But yeah, I'll try to figure something out. I'll try to do some research and see what's going on with it. But anyways, like I was saying, then after that I'll start on my DS collection. I think I have all of the 3DS, which is just Pokemon X and Y, and then Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and then Sun and Moon. I have all those, so don't have to worry about that. But over the years, me being a stupid kid, I sold my games, and with all my original games, I gave them to my cousin a long time ago, which was really stupid of me. I mean, that's another beautiful one. Dang. And that's practically perfect. The only thing is, around the lettering of Pokemon, you can see it. Around the letters of Pokemon, you can see it has a little bit of wear and tear, but the sticker is beautiful too. I mean, dang, I'm so happy that he gave me these, because my other one, it works perfectly. No, my other one doesn't work. Never mind. The battery's messed up on it. But after that, it would work perfectly fine. It's just, it's raggedy. I bought it from my local gaming store for way too much, I think, for like 30 bucks or something like that. This one doesn't look half bad either, but this is the one that actually played. Looks like the battery might have a little bit of corrosion around the actual soldering point. Nothing bad. Here we go. I don't have to really do anything to this one either. Maybe a little bit of polish. I don't know where that sticker was, where the adhesive stuck on there. Other than that, there we go. now all I need is another Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or something. I want to collect the Game Boys as well. I want to get an original Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color. What else was there? I know there's a lot of different ones, but just the main series ones, pretty much. I want to get a Game Boy Pocket because that was the first system that was actually mine. Oh, I got it stuck on there. Okay. Anyways, that was the first system that was actually just mine because me and my brother had a Nintendo Entertainment System, and then we also had, that was more his because I was still real young whenever we got it. I remember it, but like I remember him playing it, and then I was just like holding the controller, pretending like I was playing. But anyways, and then we had a Super Nintendo, which that was the one that I, you know, first started really playing because whenever I had the Game Boy Pocket, I didn't have Red for a while. I think I was in second grade whenever I got Red. But anyway, so I think I remember playing Wario a lot. I played that a lot, and then I played what's that weird game? I can't remember his name. It's like something World, and he's like a slave or something. I can't remember it, but people love it. Weird World or something like that. I don't know. Damn, this is the second time this one's giving me trouble. Okay, there we go. But anyways, if you guys ever want to, y'all can send me. Oh, I'm putting it in the wrong spot. Y'all can send me, you know, y'all's old Pokemon games that y'all don't want. Like I said, I need silver. I saw a Japanese silver at the game store that I got my blue from. All right, so we're gonna start exactly where we start from before. Let me turn this lamp off. We're gonna start with red. Should work perfectly fine. Whoops. Should work perfectly fine. This is the one that was working perfectly fine in the first place, but should start up perfect every single time. Let me get my stuff where you can actually see it. There we go. Working perfectly fine. Pretty much after you get past the Nintendo screen, it should work after that. So I'm going to save the two best for last. So these two. Go ahead and do the gold and the blue. See if this one works. This is another one. This is the one that was giving me a lot of trouble before. My child's not crying. I thought she was. I'm trying to listen. No. She's pretending like the baby doll's crying. She should have been an actor. Anyway, so there's gold. Again, I have to fix battery on that one, unfortunately. So we're gonna do blue now. Blue boots up perfectly, beautifully. Oh, and my wife again. She's gonna hate me after watching this video, knowing that I just blatantly skipped her phone call if she even watches it. But anyways, so there's blue, boots up perfectly fine. Here's the one that was giving me trouble. Here's the one that was, you know, too tight in there. So let's see if it works. No. There we go. So this one might give me a little bit of trouble, but this one's probably going to be my main one, the one back there. But yeah, like I was saying before though, I'm going to need to get another Game Boy so I can trade some of this stuff over. So if the batteries ever do go dead, there we go, it's working fine now. Triple check it. Yeah, okay. My daughter is scaring me because she sounds just like she's crying. Alright, so this is the one that gave us the most trouble. This is the one that has a sticker on it, and I don't know what's wrong with it at all. If this didn't work. Oh. Now I think it's just the contacts on my actual system. I don't know how to clean the ones on this system. Okay, here we go. Alright, remember that after this scene is where it messes up. Aha! It's working. I'll play this later, but let me go ahead into something. I've never played this game, so I have no idea what to expect. So, that's awesome. There we go. I'm just making sure that it continues working. Alright, so let's take it out and try it again. Make double sure it's working. I mean, this is the one that, opening it up, it looks brand new, and for it to work, yeah. One more try, just to make double sure, or triple sure, should I say. Nice. Okay, cool. So, all the games are working. The ones that still are giving me a little bit of trouble are these two games. This one just because of the battery. I just have to get a new battery, solder that in. And then this one just because of that little bin spot. I'm going to try it one more time. But just because of that little bin spot, I think it still will give me some trouble. Yep. So this one will still give me a little bit of trouble, but it's better than... You know what I might be able to do? Sit tight. I might be able to put this in a different case. By the way, this is from this case right here. Here, I'll show it up here. This case I bought from Etsy, I think. It's the exact same art as the old games, except it's in a DS case, but it's actually molded to fit Game Boy Color games. So let's see if this will work better, because I'd rather have this one in. I'd rather have the one with the working battery in a working case, or a cartridge. So let's go ahead and see if putting this in a different cartridge will let it play better. Because if so, that will be two games that work perfectly fine. And that means I just have to get a battery for this one. Yeah, this one's still giving me trouble with opening it. Okay, so there we go. And this one looks this one looks a lot better than that one, but what was I about to say? But the first one, the one that works the best, looks the best. So, by the way, if you're ever buying games, always open up your cartridges. Like, before you go and buy a game, an expensive game, I mean. Let me do this real quick. But before you go out and buy an expensive game, for instance, let's see, let me think of one. Can't think of anything. What is that game called? Can't remember. Anyways, if you're going out to buy a expensive game, pretend like Mario's an expensive game. Do research. Open up go onto a website. Look at a open cartridge. Take a picture of it if you need to, or print it out or whatever. And then, if you see one at a game store, or you're thinking about looking at one or whatever, tell them to open it up for you, or you open it up and look at the actual insides. Look at the guts, because you don't want to get Mario inside of a let me think of a game. I can't think of anything, like Stadium Events or something like that, which is like a super expensive game. So here we go. You don't want to get the original Super Mario in Stadium Events, because that does happen. People do switch out cartridges just like I just did. Okay, so this should be working better. I think that other case is just giving it pressure problems. I think I put the wrong back on this one though. No, I didn't. Okay, so let's try it again. Just take it out and put it back in a few times. Oh, still messing up. But I think I seeded that one weak. Nope. Okay, I might need to clean this one some more. Work on it a little bit more. But overall, 2 out of 3 times it works, which is good. So now I'm going to put the one with the dead battery in the older case, or older, like the scuffed up case that's all bent up and stuff. And then I'll work on that one a little bit more later. Holy crap, this video is long. But anyways, there you go. That's how you clean some clean some old Game Boy cartridges. You can do the same exact thing with NES, SNES. I'm sure you could do the same thing. Pretty much any cartridge-based game, you can clean them just like I just cleaned them. And if you ever want to just, you know, touch them up, I'll use this one for an example. If you ever just want to touch them up, get a Q-tip, dip it in a little bit of alcohol, squeeze the alcohol out, and then just go back and forth on it. And that'll get, look at that, there's some dirt on the one that I cleaned, you know, not too long ago. But yeah, just do that until it's relatively clean. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long video, but this is pretty much just me rambling, and hopefully my friends will watch this and see their games working and stuff like that, or working better than what they did. But until next time, stay beautiful, stay sexy, and it's today's Sheffy. I love you guys, and have a good night.